G Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Welcome back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. We are a certified home health care agency servicing Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade, and you can reach us directly at 954-717-7027. And some good news, All County Healthcare is growing. We're actually actively seeking RNs, LPNs, PTs, and OTs to join our Medicare certified home health care team. We're covering Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Please call Andrea. She's the HR director. She can be reached at 954-717-7027. We'll also actually be at the Health Fair November 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Plantation Central Park Community Center, located at 9151 Northwest 2nd Street in Plantation. We look forward to seeing you there. And tonight, I am excited to introduce everybody to our guest, Ms. Desirae Mearns. She is the program director for the Florida chapter of the ADPA, the American Parkinson's Disease Association. So welcome to the show, Desirae. We're happy to have you on. Thank you for taking time out and coming.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Desirae, she can be reached. Her cell phone is 954-952-0429, and also DMEARNS at I'm saying it backwards, apdaparkinson.org. I'll repeat, dmearns at apdaparkinson.org. And the website is apdaparkinson.org. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Of course. So Desirae, I know you are where you are now, but can you give us a little background? Like, how did you end up here? What a little bit more about your background and your history. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So the joke in nonprofit is you really do fall into management, and that's exactly what happened for the better for my career. I did intern at the Area Agency on Aging back in my college days, and I really fell in love with senior services. And so I decided to pursue that with my master's. I actually did start my career at the Area Agency on Aging on the Elder Helpline, and I just immersed myself in all those resources. I got all the hard calls, and believe it or not, I fell in love with Medicare. I know that sounds really weird.
Wow, but, that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I took that on as the SHINE program. So I directed volunteers and sites and provided training for free and unbiased Medicare counseling. So took a little break, but now I am a state program director with the Parkinson's Disease Association, and I couldn't be happier.
So if you could just tell us a little bit more about Parkinson's, because a lot of us know it or we think we know it, but I really want to touch on, for people who are listening right now and they may be curious to know, like, what would be maybe a beginning stage, or how would I know a family member I think may be having some symptoms, or, I'm sure you get these questions all the time, but what should somebody kind of look for with this?
Absolutely. And that is a pretty loaded question because it is considered a designer disease. It affects everyone so very different. Actually, 10 to 20% of those diagnosed are under the age of 50.
Really?
Half of the
I didn't
yeah
know that.
half of the symptoms are actually not motor symptoms. So your inclination may be someone who with Parkinson's has tremors. They shake a bit,
Right.
right? Maybe they can't hold
Sure.
water, directly, or may not be able to drive.
Right.
Um, but actually, some non motor symptoms include anxiety, depression, so some gut health
Wow.
issues. So,
Really?
those that are on the younger side can maybe start to see that. And with the season we were just in, with all the stressful COVID,
Yeah.
healthcare situation and all, it may look masked as something else. So it's actually very common that someone is misdiagnosed
Huh.
and actually has Parkinson's for years before they get a direct diagnosis.
I never knew
Mhm.
that. And so it's so interesting that you're saying, maybe like gut health issues and that's where it would start because I know the link between the gut brain axis is so strong, but I never realized that the beginning stages could actually be that. So
Mhm.
I guess proper diet
Absolutely.
is always necessary, right?
It definitely won't hurt.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
we also find that those who are extremely active,
Yeah.
and have a very structured routine with their exercise
Mhm.
and continuing with their mobility, their strength, and their balance,
Right.
actually have a delay in diagnosis because the number one treatment for Parkinson's is movement.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you have Parkinson's and you're a very active person, then you might actually be managing symptoms that you don't even know you have because you have a nice structured balanced lifestyle. So it's a full gamut on
Mm.
someone who has Parkinson's for 3 years, someone I've met someone who's had it for 38 years. I've met someone
Really?
who received, a diagnosis at 29, and I've met someone who's received a diagnosis in their 90s. So, we're really trying to meet everyone where they are. We are
Yes.
that grassroots organization. Our
Yes.
programs really tailor, both education wise and support wise, to the care partner and the patient with Parkinson's. So, in the Parkinson's world, we call them care partners, not
I
caregivers.
I love that. I noticed you said care partner and my ears perked up. And I just
Yeah.
loved how the little spin on that word can really make such a huge difference. A care partner.
And absolutely, because the buy-in very much has to be on the patient as well. The care partner can ask them to go for a walk. Um, if
Right.
they're using medication as a form of treatment, it has to be very regimented. They have to take it at the exact same time
Mm.
every day,
Right.
or it could really affect their symptoms. So, a care partner can ask them to take their prescriptions on time, can remind them that it's time to go for a walk, but ultimately the person with Parkinson's has to buy in as well. So they're no longer a caregiver, they're a care partner in their
Mm.
treatment.
Yeah. I like that. And so I think a lot of the younger generation, maybe because of Michael J. Fox raising awareness, because of his organization and his personal journey, um, I feel that more people have definitely, learning more about this. Can you tell us, are there any new treatments that have changed the trajectory of this disease within the last few years? Any upcoming new treatments that you know of?
So there are several different options, and just as the disease is designer to each person, their treatment is very much a variety based on their symptoms and what seems to help them manage their symptoms. There is not a cure,
Sure.
unfortunately, not yet,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
We're working towards that, but to manage symptoms are very different per person. So there are prescriptions. There are several different makes models of carbidopa levodopa. There are several different dosages that
Mm-hmm.
can assist with managing the motor symptoms. Of course, there are anti-anxiety, anti-depression medications that can help alongside with the non-motor symptoms that are Parkinson's. There is a procedure called deep brain stimulation, which is actually a neurosurgery. And it's these really neat devices that they put inside of the brain, and it
Really?
communicates through almost like a pacemaker device that you wear.
Wow. Right.
And there are three different device types. Each of them do, different things, have different features. They can be adjusted from a distance. So if maybe you're in a different country and it's a different
Wow.
elevation and something's going on, it's really neat. Not everyone is a candidate for that,
Sure.
um, but it's certainly an option. And there's a new ultrasound treatment, which it's a wonderful segue on this topic because we have actually put together as a chapter something called the Parkinson's Journal Club. And it is a virtual program that we'll do on a quarterly basis where we invite certain researchers, clinical trial observers, and those who have co authored in certain medical journals to dissect the information and provide it to us in everyday language. So
Oh,
that's actually
nice.
coming up next Wednesday. So if anyone's interested in that, they can visit our website. It's completely free to register for. It will be recorded, but it will be live also for question and answers with our experts.
That's wonderful. So that's coming up. You said what day is that? When
Yes, so that will be
Wednesday?
next Wednesday, the 18th of October, and it'll be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you can pre-register, pre-submit questions. It'll be on a quarterly basis. So
Nice.
this this quarter's agenda is about the gut biome, also the ultrasound,
Nice.
as well as the difference in Parkinson's between genders, male and female.
Oh,
So,
I didn't even think to ask you that, Desiree. That makes perfect
yep.
sense. Maybe women are we're more prone to a certain type of symptom as opposed to the male, maybe um, prevalent in a different type of a symptom.
Well, 50% more gentlemen
Okay.
do get Parkinson's. But those ladies who do develop Parkinson's tend to, and it's not 100%, but tend to progress much faster.
Wow.
So it's very interesting to understand those different variables. And we are very unique as a chapter because Florida has a Center for Advanced Research at Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville. We
Okay.
have our Information and Referral Center and Medical Director at University of Miami, Miller School of Medicine in
Mm-hmm.
Miami. And then we just released additional research dollars for University of Florida. We
Oh,
have a
nice.
researcher there who is looking at specifically the diversity in Parkinson's disease, like gender, race, ethnicity, environment. So there's a lot happening. We have a lot going on in Florida. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and so that was an interesting statistic. Men are 50% higher risk than women. Wow,
Yep.
did not know that. So, what would somebody who has an aging parent? Well, I know you're saying everyone has a different risk factor, but if someone is taking care of an aging parent and maybe they're suspecting that, what should their next step be? See a neurologist, or like what would you explain to them to do? What would you suggest?
Absolutely. Some of the things to look for are, slowness. So we're slowing down, and everyone may assume that it's normal aging, but there is a conversation we can have about understanding normal aging and potential Parkinson's symptoms. If someone is having issue with their balance and their gait, that
Mm,
is definitely a motor symptom.
right.
Uh, the traditional tremor. So there
Yes.
is essential tremor and then there's Parkinsonian tremor. So that's a conversation as well. But it's very important to understand that if you have a general neurologist,
Right.
making that first appointment and having that conversation is great. But there are also specialists that are called movement disorder specialists. And
Mm.
they do just that, help with MS and Parkinson's and other movement disorders. And it's very important that you advocate for you or your loved one,
Sure.
because it is oftentimes that it is a misdiagnosis, or it's not something that's taken seriously sometimes. So when in doubt, reach out. Oh,
I like that.
APDA can help you find that movement disorder specialist in your area. We do have several connections throughout the state, and also with our sister chapter in Georgia, and some of our research grant recipients in Alabama. So I am a third generation Floridian, and
Nice.
I take a lot of pride in this program and our state, and I'm willing to make the friends to help you figure out, how to be most comfortable with your Parkinson's diagnosis, and help you advocate for yourself.
Wonderful. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back, and we're going to discuss more about what other resources we can find on the website. Okay, we'll be right
Absolutely.
back with a quick commercial break. Thank you.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. We are a certified home healthcare agency. We're servicing Palm Beach County, Broward, Miami-Dade. You can reach us directly at 954-717-7027. And good news, All County Healthcare is expanding. We're actively seeking RNs, LPNs, PTs, and OTs to join our Medicare certified home healthcare team. We'll be covering Palm Beach County, Broward, Miami-Dade. Please call Andrea. She's the HR director, 954-717-7027. We'll also be at the health fair on November 8th at the in Plantation, at the Plantation Central Park Community Center. And that is at 9151 Northwest 2nd Street in Plantation. So, Desirae, thanks for coming back. And I do have a couple more questions because people are wanting to know a little bit. They're wanting to know, like, do you know any local doctors or specialists, or how would somebody be able to access the right doctor? I know you mentioned you have the mobility and movement specialist as well, but let's say someone says, I really think I need a neurologist, or what kind of doctor do I need to see? What would you suggest to them?
So local, remember I cover the entire state.
True.
So, local could be
Yeah.
Boca, it could be Broward. So my phone number, please give me
Okay.
a shout Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Oh,
You
good.
can also research all of our information on our website. So that's apdaparkinson.org,
Okay.
and that's /FL. So you can receive all the information on our support groups. So
Nice.
we also have our helpline, so you can call in and let's chat about what local means to you.
True. Right.
My my Medicare background does also want it makes me want to talk about what insurance do you have? Do we need to double check that they're a network? What does
Right.
that look like? It's a conversation and I'm willing to have it. I'm here for you.
Thank you
So
so
I want to make
much.
sure that you're comfortable and that you're working through that movement yourself on those different providers. But we do have a really strong movement disorder kind of system here in South Florida. Other parts of the state, not so much. So that's why I want to make sure that whoever's asking, I can help and be very specific in their area.
Well, you're definitely an advocate, and we appreciate you that you'd be willing to take the time out of your schedule to be able to answer those questions. Um, so, tell us a little bit more about on November 5th about the walk that's going on. Share with us, please.
Yes, absolutely. So we are so very excited to host our annual Optimism Walk, and it's going to be at Burt Aronson Park in West Boca. So you can visit our website to create a team. You can come day of. We start a little later. Those with Parkinson's need a little extra time to get their medication kicked in, do their morning exercises. So check-in's not till 9 a.m. So,
Okay. Okay.
it's pretty manageable. And so we'll have cheerleaders. It'll be a family fun day. There's a playground. There will be Kona Ice and other food vendors. And it's really a celebration on everyone coming together as a Parkinson's community and celebrating wherever you may be in your Parkinson's journey. Whether you have a loved one or you've lost a loved one, if
True.
you are a patient, if you're a care partner, even if you're a care partner from afar, if you're
Right.
having a phone conversation with someone and you're helping them work through their day or even on a weekly basis, you're a care partner and
Yes.
you mean something. So please come celebrate with us. It's a great time. The board will be there. I'll be there. We'll
Nice.
have lots of fun.
I think what I'm liking best about what you're discussing with that is from what I gather, you're really creating a community, and people want to know that they're not alone. People want to be able to connect with people who have those similar challenges or similar experiences, and so by connecting to this event, there's so many resources to create community, to create, get the information you need. Or, like you're saying, next Wednesday you're having, this information session. So there's so many different aspects of getting connected to the community that people really will benefit from, is the way I see that.
And it's a very unique community. I learn something new every support group, every event. Everyone is so welcoming and warm. We had a new member at a recent support group, and we all just cried it out together because she's just received her diagnosis, and she's grieving at this point, but she had
Right.
no one else who knew what she was going through to talk to about. And that's the thing. It's just our programs are a big old hug and we love to be everyone's sunshine. So please join us. It's a great time.
I love that. I love how you're going to these support groups, and it seems like you wear many hats, Desiree, so that's a good thing.
I
Um,
do. I'm very lucky. So I meet everyone where they are and we develop support groups and educational seminars. We'll have a symposium again here soon.
okay.
We'll have other fundraising opportunities, but the greatest feedback I've received is, we have all of these opportunities to learn and share, but we want to party.
Right.
So we've also developed Strictly Socials, which are just that, a way for camaraderie to get together and have a great time, and peers to learn from one another.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Um, yeah, and so we have 3 minutes left. So if you want to just wrap it up with whatever, whatever advice or information, or maybe something we haven't discussed, if you could just let us know, we would appreciate that. I think you froze. Yeah. So we'll go into the announcement. I think I think she froze. But so we're expanding, so let's touch on that. All County Healthcare is actively seeking RNs, LPNs, PTs, OTs to join our Medicare Certified Home Healthcare team covering Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Please call Andrea. She's the HR director. Her number is 954-717-7027. We will also be at the Health Fair November 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Plantation Central Park Community Rec Building, and that's at 9151 Northwest 2nd Street in Plantation. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Louise Gomez, and we will see you next week. Have a great week.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-54